I'm Dr. Keith Johnson. Did it ever dawn on you that you are made with a purpose, that you were designed, that before you even came to the earth, you were given a purpose and an assignment? According to the Bible, God knew your name long before you had come to existence, and you were in His mind long before you were born. But it's not too hard to realize that you have a purpose and that you're designed with a purpose, because everything we've got, we've designed with purpose. And if that's what man will do, that certainly is what God would do. It's not hard to understand that humanity has its own purpose, that every human being has his purpose, because every human being is so intricately made. For example, nobody can recreate your heart. They can't recreate you as a being, your personality. You and I are different, and that's what makes us unique. And in our uniqueness, God loves us. We're made unique like God, so that He can love us like we can love Him. Designed with a purpose, your first purpose, of course, being to love God. But there is far more than that. The understanding of life would be that you have a reason to live, and that God has given you one. So the attempt of understanding our purpose is not easy. A complicated search, but not so difficult, because some of those purposes are already given to us in life. For example, if you're a mother, if you gave birth to a baby, you already understand one of your purposes, which is many in itself, and that is to raise your child. So your purpose, first of all, is to be a mother. If you become a husband or a wife, you've developed a purpose there, and that's the purpose that you're supposed to fulfill. It is our job to find our purpose and to determine what we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to be. It is a mistake and a very grievous problem to be doing something all day that is not our purpose. For example, if you're working at a job that you hate, chances are you're probably not supposed to be there. That's how we get to understand what our purpose is, by what our passions are and what we do and what we look for and what we try to understand about life. The worst thing about humanity is the negligence. Our negligence to serve God, our negligence to recognize God, our negligence to not recognize our own sacredness, our negligence not to recognize our uniqueness, our negligence not to be a good husband or a good wife or a good father or a good mother, our negligence not to be a good friend. Negligence can be a very grievous sin when we don't take time. And one of the things that we've got the ability to do, and one of the things we should be doing all of our life, is determining our purpose, is finding our purpose, is looking for what we are supposed to do. Now, how do you do that? How do you find your purpose? Well, the first thing you do is you examine your talents. What do I like to do? I know, for example, that I'm not a good mechanic. So I would not, no matter how much you paid me to, let's say, change the oil in your car, I probably wouldn't do a good job. You give me $5,000 to get your car up to shape, I can't do it. I don't know how to get a car up to shape. I don't know how to work on mechanics. I studied mechanics in school, and I did okay. It was a required course. But I also learned that it's something I didn't like to do. Every time a wrench was put in my hand, every time somebody took a wrench and stuck it in my hand, I could feel all kinds of stress, which was my way of telling myself I'm not supposed to be a mechanic. Just that simple. I'm not supposed to be a cook. I can't cook real well either. I don't enjoy cooking. So if I don't enjoy cooking and I don't enjoy mechanics, I know that my purpose is not to become a mechanic. And that's what you do. You find your purpose and what you like to do. Now, I like to communicate. I like to effectively communicate. I like to help people. So I know that that's something that I can do, and that's something I should do. When I'm trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to do, I know that As I listen to people and as I talk to them, I can help them. And I may spend hours doing it and feel like the time has passed quickly. Or, for example, teaching class. I teach class every day, and I enjoy it. I love it. And I work with all kinds of different students. You have to work with them on a one-on-one basis. Now, I know that part of my purpose is to teach. I'm supposed to be teaching, and I enjoy it. So I am doing what I know I'm supposed to do. Now, if I hated teaching, I'm not supposed to do it. There are some people that could not stand to be with a bunch of students for an hour in a classroom trying to teach them. Those people should not be teachers. There are some people that are very good drivers, some people that are meant to be bus drivers or truck drivers or delivery drivers or post office drivers. Those people enjoy driving those trucks, and they were meant to do that. All of us have all kinds of different passions that guide us to what we're supposed to do, and none of us have the same passion. All of us have different passions with different desires because we're supposed to do so many different things. Some people love to fly planes. They love to drive locomotives, trucks, cars. Some people like to get on boats. Some people like to talk to people. Some people like to sing. Some people like to dance, and some people are good at it. And those people that can sing or dance should be doing it. That's how you find your purpose. You were made to do certain things. In some cases, you're made to do many things. A mother, for example, also has to be a bus driver to the kids, a schedule maker, sometimes an account clerk, has to decide what's ready for trips, has to get everything together, and has to make certain appointments for hospitals and doctors and who knows what else, has to design the house. There are a lot of things a mother has to do. And there are some things that a mother doesn't like to do. So what a mother does is weigh what she likes to do with what she doesn't like to do, and what she doesn't like to do, she has somebody else do, which is one of the reasons, hopefully, you get married, so that the two of you can share responsibilities. There are things that the husband likes to do, that he will do and gladly do it. There are things that the wife likes to do, that she will do and gladly do it, and there are things that you don't want to do, and those things you learn not to do. You should live your life the same way. The things you want to do, the dream job you've got, the things you want to accomplish, you need to do those things. You need to find out what they are, and then you need to follow them accordingly. You need to sit down and work out what your dream job would be. You want to run a business? You want to work for a daycare? You want to own a daycare? You want to go to school? You want to dance? You want to sing? What do you want to do? And you should write those things down. You should figure out what your passions say you ought to do. And those things that you know you love are those things that God has intended for you to do in the first place. That's why He gave them to you. He wouldn't give a good singer a good voice and then say, one thing I don't want you to do is sing. He wants you to sing. If you're a good dancer, you should be dancing. If you're a good socialite in parties, you should be socializing. If you make people feel good when you talk, if you tell jokes, you ought to be a comedian. These things only come by your searching, and sometimes it takes a long time. Because all our minds work differently, and we've all been brought up different, and we all have different talents, we have to decide what it is we want to accomplish, or what we need to do. And that's not easy. The problem is, as I mentioned before, negligence. There are some people who just ignore having a purpose in life. Some people decide they just want to be safe. And so all they do is go to the job they hate for 30 years so that they'll have a good retirement so they can sit back and do nothing. Now, you have a right to make that choice. Nobody can take that right from you. But if you make that choice, the problem is you waste so much talent, so much purpose, so much reason for things that you've done. It's a good idea to understand that there is so much you can accomplish, and there's so many ways that you can help people using your talents and putting them to work. Whatever those talents happen to be. If you are a good singer, you should share that. people need to hear your voice. They need to listen to you. If you are a good dancer, or near a good dancer even, you should be dancing. And that's true of anything. Bake a cake, you're a good cook. How far can I go? Anything that you think you can do, an architect, whatever meets your desire and passion. And so many of us are so different. We have so many different passions that we don't think the same way. So we work at trying to figure out who we are and what we want to accomplish. So do yourself a favor. Study yourself. Understand your passions. Get to know what it is you want to do, and then get to know that that's exactly what you should be doing. You want that dream job. You want to make more money than you're making now. You want to be a success personally. Take your talents and put them to work. God gave them to you for a reason. Now make that reason life.